You hit the floor.
Yo, yo, yo. Uh, Hello, good morning. Salutations, motherfuckers. It's Suitman here. We've been missing. I was actually in the islands for a while. That was the whole thing, I couldn't help it. Right? When you go to Hawaii, you kind of don't keep doing the things you said you were gonna do. Are we live? Says it sent it. Yep, we should be. I don't know. Let me double check. Stand by. This is the part that sucks. Because on one screen it'll say you're live, and on the other screen it'll say you're not. Nah, right? Says we are. We definitely are. So, welcome to Dating with Disabilities 33. It's your man, the myth, the legend, Suitman. I'm here. How y'all doing?
Woohoo!
Thank you. Somebody got it. Mike's like, I'm here. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Right. We don't have Janejira today. Unfortunately, she didn't pay her
Oh,
power bill, or somebody didn't pay their power bill. I don't know what the fuck. No, I'm just messing with you. Unfortunately for Janejira, I heard she's having power issues. It's not her fault. I know she's not doing it on purpose, you guys. But if she's gonna be here, she may be here a little later, so we'll get our sound effects when we do. But we have a great show for you today. Everybody go, woo!
Woohoo!
woo!
Right.
What
Yay!
The great part about this show is we've made some growth. And when I say we've made some growth, our guests have changed. All right, we've had guests come back. Our guest today is now in a doctoral program. He is laughing because he's in class and taking a class about sex disabilities and sex and stuff like that. So the things we're actually talking about now, he's discussing in class. He's getting a doctorate. So when he talks about us in his paper, I better get some credit, is more what I'm getting at. But the realness of this is that we all know and love somebody. The holidays are coming. So before we get in our show, I want you to think about all your disabled buddies coming around Thanksgiving. Make sure your house is accessible. Make sure you got ramps. If you don't have a ramp, find some tack board so that way somebody can come up your stairs. Make sure everybody's getting a meal. Find out if you got an elevator. Just check in on your folks with disabilities. They can be grumpy, but they need some love too. All right. Now that I've done my PSA today, let's get the show going. You guys ready? Woo!
Yeah, yeah,
We,
yeah, yeah,
we got our
yeah.
usual suspects today. Where are you at? We got Silvi Santoso. Where are you at today?
Yay! I'm in
Woo!
Toronto.
You're home in Toronto for once?
Yeah, for
You're,
once.
you're not out on the road. You don't have anywhere you're
Mm,
going right now?
Not today.
Not today? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I like how you said that. You're like, not today. I mean, other days maybe, but not
Yes.
not
Not
today.
today.
And how is it in Toronto? What's the weather like? Have you guys started the snowy
Cold.
season?
It's already winter, kind of, but it's very cold.
Very cold. No snow
Very
yet?
cold. Not yet.
Not yet. Thank God, right? Fingers crossed. Next
Yep.
up, all the way across the Atlantic, she's got her hair out. She took off her wig for the show. I mean, not her wig, but her wrap. She took her wrap off for the show. She's got her little locks out. It looks like she's Medusa, playing Medusa for October.
That's
Oh,
what's
shit.
up.
God damn it. Give it
Shut
up
up.
for
Oh, you
Variety
hater.
D.
Good afternoon in this cold country. No, I think Canada's beaten us. Like this is like this is like the US election. This is not right. I don't know. It's not meant to be like this.
This is
You
not a
know, go take
political
your
show.
snow
We're
somewhere.
not going to go
Jack
there.
immigrated here. It's
We're not
not
going to
good.
complain about the politics in this show. There are other shows you could do that on, but we heard you. We heard you. We heard you. We heard you. And give it up for last but not least, our
Mhm.
guest, the host with the most. He almost blends in with everything. His shirt matches his skin. Give it up for Mike Cotayo, everybody.
Yo, my shirt does not match it. Look, this is your
I'm saying you're bright white. It is
you
kind of
colorblind.
No,
Yeah.
I'm a
White on white now.
No,
That's
let
nice.
me do
Wait.
like you guys do. I don't see color, Mike. I don't see
I'm a-
color. Oh,
Listen, you colorblind fuck.
You got your milk dud shirt on. I see you, buddy. What's
Shut
going
up,
on?
faggot.
Oh, you can't say those kind of words. I mean, he can't. Never mind. We're not
I
going.
can.
Let's try
I
not to
can.
be
now
hyper
pay-per-view.
aggressive. They don't
I
even know who
can.
you are yet, Mike. So let's try not to be hyper aggressive. Jesus,
I'm
tell them
telling
who
Mike
you are.
Tyson.
Tell them where you're from, Mike.
I'm a loving person. My name's Mike Cotayo. I'm from New York. I live in New Jersey. I specify that because I hate Jersey. They did give me a license though, to drive, and the road is an unsafe place now. So I'm good. I'm a comic. I'm getting my PhD though in sex, because if you're good at something, why not be a doctor in it?
Woohoo.
So
Well, tell us more. I mean, I know you're a comic. You've been on here before, but this is dating with disabilities. So, what's your superpower, Mike? Because you saying you have a driver's license right now, they don't understand why that's a big deal. So, go ahead and tell them, Mike.
So I was in a drunk driving accident when I was a baby, and because of that, I have a physical disability. I can't really use my left arm too well, and I walk with a limp. And my superpower is I can drive anywhere and crash anything.
It also is superpower. He can't park for shit.
I-
That's so.
Yo,
And I'm going to
that
tell
was a
this
good
story
job I
again.
did.
I'm
That
going to
was a
tell.
good job I
Listen.
did.
So
That
the
was
way
a good job I did.
this is the funniest story to meet somebody. So we're at the comedy club. We've already all played softball. We did this little like wiffle ball game. Obviously, Mike didn't play wiffle ball with us, so I hadn't seen him yet, right? And so I'm standing there in my suit. I got a gray suit on, sparkly shoes. I'm standing out, and I'm like, "Who's this asshole who can't park?" And he's, "Do I got? No, you ain't got it all." It's like, "Do you know how to fucking park, buddy? Do you want me to get out and do it for you?" And he said, if I could get out my car fast enough. I was like, what's that mean or something? And the next you know, he finally parked and I came out and then he's walking out. I was, oh, damn it. I just bullied a handicapped guy. And that's how our
Mike.
relationship started.
I thought
Yeah.
that your superpower is sex.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's one of them. It's one of them.
Ah.
One of them.
I'm in this class now, right, which is sex and disability, and I realized like when I was younger, I was super sexual because I thought I had to prove something. I thought I had to prove I could do sex because people don't see disabled people as sexual beings. Like,
Oh.
you know, they don't like their cripples dirty and bad. They like them clean and in institutions, you know. So
There's a
that's
lot of
what
truth to
I
that.
think.
There's a
What?
lot of truth to that because we talked about it, and I think I've talked about it and said it. Is like there's not a lot like disabled porn isn't a major thing. Even disabled actors isn't a major thing, right? Like seeing women having sex in a wheelchair. Like yeah, they may use a what do you call? I don't even know what it's called.
Sling.
Not a sling. A can't. What do they get? You mount them in your bedroom. I'm not that big of a freak.
Sex swing?
Yeah, there you go. A swing. Not a sling, a swing. There you go. A swing.
Ugh.
But Variety D's losing her stuff. But there's not a lot of. Go ahead.
I once fucked a guy with one leg in an office. It was fun.
You are so.
Tell
you're
us
so-
more. What
you're
happened?
so-
What positions?
It was a great opening. Like I didn't need to.
Jesus Christ.
Who opened
Jesus.
what?
You only have to hold one leg. It's
They're not.
perfect for
It's
me.
not. Jesus Christ! Stop! We're not getting that.
It
This
wasn't
isn't that.
Jesus.
Shut up, Variety D.
Oh,
God.
this is dating and disability, not
This-
fucking and
this is
disability.
not
My
a
bad.
porn
My
show.
bad.
Jesus.
It's the same. Same
No,
difference.
no, it's not. We're not rated X. We're rated PG. We're on
Oh,
radio.
you're so
Well,
We're
then
on
you-
radio,
you
you
picked
guys.
the
For
wrong
Christ's
guy
sake.
for this fucking.
No, you just got to tone it in 7. You don't have to be every other word is about blowing somebody and fucking somebody in their third hole.
But
Listen,
it's
I
keeping
didn't
me
mention
warm.
blowing.
It's cold. November.
You're killing me here.
I didn't mention blowing. I mentioned
So,
fucking.
If we haven't figured it out, Mike is definitely gay, everybody.
Yeah.
So
I am not definitely gay. I'm like half there. I'm bi. I'm married to a woman. So
But it's getting
were
some
you
goodies.
married to a woman last time we
Greetings.
talked to?
yeah. We've been married 4 years. We've been together 7, and we've been friends for 15. In fact, when we met, we have a mutual friend, and our mutual friend is my best friend from high school. And when we met, my wife said to my friend, "Oh, he's cute. What's his deal?" And she goes, "Oh, he's gay." So that's why we didn't get together for like 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
They were cock blocking you.
they were
That's
totally cock blocking.
that is what
I
that
can-
is what we call that, right? And let's talk about this. So we touched on something and you said it and then you we just let it go. Being a disability is not something that was like sexy when we were growing up. How old are you, Mike?
48.
Yeah, we're around that same age. So you're late 70s, growing up in the 80s and 90s. You know,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
only
yeah.
guy that was disabled on TV was Corky, right? The guy from
Oh, I love that. I love that retard.
oh god, Jesus. Mike, you just get he's from New York. He's gonna say all of them. Don't say all of them. Do not say one of them. But my thing is like there was no representation, right?
No, no.
You were trying to prove how sexy you were, right? So and I think back at this and being from a poor neighborhood that sex is a conquest, not something you do, right?
Thank you, Variety. Thank you.
Variety D over here flirting. She's like, he goes both ways. You can come to Canada or Variety D. Oh shit, England, and she'll make you
London,
walk
United
straight.
Kingdom.
I love
Yeah.
London. I will do it. I will do it.
But
Do it or do me? What's he talking about? No.
You know what?
What's he talking about?
You know what they say? Once you go cripple, you never walk straight again.
What? My nipple? Leave it. No.
Jesus, you guys are horrible. But you said you wanted to, you were proving sex. Were you? I think we talked about this. Were you a sex worker at one time, or were you just overly sexed
I
through all
did
this?
do it. Like I did do sex work for a couple of years, and that was really. I didn't do it out of necessity. I did it because I wanted to feel better about myself.
Okay.
And
time
like,
out. What do you, now? And let me ask you: is that because just to get in the psychology of it, right? It was because you feel like you're more attractive because people are paying you for it and you're getting it, as opposed to having to earn it. Or
I was in a relationship with a man where our sex life stopped, and it made me feel very not wanted. And I always got validation from sex, and that sounds bad when I say it out loud, but I was good at it. It was something that I could do and get
somebody
verbal.
off. You get
Yeah,
somebody off. You get
yeah.
physical. And I agree with you in my own sense that I now find myself not having sex, right? And not desiring it, right? Because I don't need that gratification for somebody to love me, right? It's if I have sex, it's because I like the person, not just because I need to feel better about myself. Not that I've transcended, I've just grown up in some ways, right? And
Right.
I think back to how, you know, I joke about making liking it that women squirt. Well, that's because I knew I hit the button, right? Like with a guy,
Mhm.
you know, when a guy comes, well, you make a woman squirt, you know, hey,
That, yeah.
I did the
Like
thing.
when I did that to my wife, like she was like, "I'm peeing." I'm like, "You're not peeing. Calm down."
And there's this whole conversation about what it is. I don't care. It's fucking body fluid. You get over it, right? But from the psychological standpoint, we're not going to digress into what fluid it is, right? But from the psychological standpoint, there is a gratification of knowing I just satisfied my partner. I'm good at
Right.
something. Like you said, I can satisfy you. There were times that, and even in relationships, maybe you'll agree with me on this, where sex was the thing that kept the relationship because it felt like that was the one thing you had in common.
Yeah.
And for me, it's trying to find, well, I know I'm good at sex. That's not the big deal. What can we do outside of the bedroom?
And I said, "What about breakfast at Tiffany's?"
Breakfast activities.
I like that song. Yes, I've got
Me
that.
too, me too, me too.
And so what you're going for your doctor. What's your bachelor's in, may I ask?
Uh, my bachelor's is in English and creative writing. My master's is in social work. So I've
Okay.
been a social worker since 2000. Um, and so I started doing therapy in 2007. And like before 2007, I was touring as a comic. And then I quit comedy. I went to a therapy training program. And then I went back to comedy in 2016.
Okay.
So
And
I'm all over the map.
and do you feel like you use comedy for therapy or and
You
again,
know,
I know better. I know your act. You know what I mean. And I'm not trying to downgrade you, but for those, this isn't for us, right? This is for the general public. Is your therapy comedy? Are those intertwined, or what are you doing?
no, I mean, I just love making people laugh. It makes me feel good to know I'm bringing joy to people in a different way. Like in therapy, I fucking hate people. I don't want to help them anymore. I just want to make them laugh. That's fun for me. You know what it's like being a comic on stage when you're in a groove, when you're in the pocket, and you feel like you could say nothing wrong, and
Oh
then
my.
you say something wrong, and then you have to win back the crowd. That's fun for me.
You know, I think we've had this talk before. I think that's the goal, right? Is to have that flawless night. And I think that's the cool part about comedy, right? Is I went to Hawaii, right? And my first night I did an open mic. There was two other people there, did a couple jokes, did some shit. I was riffing for 5 or 6 minutes. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell my regular jokes. I went to Duante, Dwayne, my Edward jokes, you know, the one that you've heard me say.
Yeah.
And then I got out of there. Well, the next night we had an open mic on the west side of the island, east side of the island. Nobody was there. There's only four comics, and they're like, "We need to fill the time." And they're like, "How much can you do?" I was like, "Well, I can do 30 to 45. What do you want?" And the guy gave me that whatever look, right?
Hmm.
And then he forgot I was the guy headlining at the Blue Note in a couple weeks, right? So he's in a couple days, and he's my bad. And I was like, oh no, I saw what you did there because we're all comics. And when you go to open mic and say you can do 30 to 45 and nobody knows you, they're like, yeah, whatever, okay,
Yeah.
bro,
Okay.
right? And then I went
I
up.
um I always say, I'm sorry to interrupt. I
No,
always say to people, like, because I'm self-deprecating. So yeah, I go, yeah, I'll do the same 5 minutes, 8 times, 8, 9 times. Don't worry about it.
well, no, and that was the thing is that we went up there, had a blast. One guy did 20, I did 35. We had a blast. I did
Yeah.
the same set somewhere else, and it went, whatever. You know what I mean? Variety D said, "How do you shut up a heckler?" I shut up one the other day, and It's funny you say that because you talked about losing a crowd. So I do a joke about a tie knot being able to prove how gay I am or not, right? And they didn't really laugh at this joke. And I had this white dude from Alabama heckling, and I said something about being black, and he was like, I'm black too. And I was like, the only thing brown on you is your dick when you pull it out your boyfriend. And the crowd died. Right? And at first I was like, oh shit, because I had already done a gay joke that they didn't like. But since the guy was heckling and from Alabama, I guess it was okay, right? Right. And so how would you handle a heckler? Like if somebody was like, ooh, tell a joke, nobody cares about your bad leg, man. Like what do you engage? Do you move on? How would you deal with that?
Yeah, I engage with the crowd, and so like one of my stock line I have, sir, is, sir, if I put my dick in your mouth, do you promise to shut up? Which usually works. And then sometimes like I'll have someone get back, and I did this show years ago, and some guy yelled out, you suck, and like, tell a joke. I go, we're in a fucking bowling alley, buy some better shoes, go rent some better shoes. And the crowd loved it. And it was just me talking to the guy. Like, I wasn't trying to be funny, I was just trying to shut him up. And
I get it. I mean, I try my best. I think there's two ways of doing it. Sometimes it's interacting. Other times it's telling them to shut up. Other times it's saying a diss like I did, maybe giving them a burn and hoping that you can embarrass them. And then usually for the most part, I don't interact, me personally, right? And I was
yeah,
gonna ask you,
you're pretty scripted, right?
yeah.
From what I remember, I am not. I am like, that's what I'm learning to do now. I've been doing this 15, 20 years. I'm learning how to stay on script. I'm learning how not to get pulled in. Like, I have ADHD, and if I hear a noise to the side, I immediately look and go to respond, and I have to bring myself back.
I love how you said that, is because it's funny to me is that you're turned sideways, turn back, fucker. There you go. But it's funny because I can't do the freestyle thing. But I feel if I do the freestyle thing, you know, it is what it is. How do you handle a heckler, Variety D? It sounds like you.
I can freestyle, like even for an hour. Like I literally will put the spotlight on blast and set some fire on that person. Not realistically, but literally cuss them out. And make sure the audience are on my side first and foremost, because I'm not sure about you guys, but being a female comedian, it's really hard for us. You know, we've got to work 2 times harder, and yeah, we've just got to make the fire burn. Okay,
I
just move on to the show.
I just told someone that, like, someone reached out to me to complain about another female comic. I'm like, look, and it was female. I'm like, look, comedy is hard. As a man, you have to work really hard. As a woman, you have to work 100 times harder. So never bring down another woman comic.
You know, I'll give you my perspective on it. I think it's harder when you're just not white. Not white and male, right?
That too. Yes,
right.
correct.
To be quite honest, right? And to me, it's almost. So I had an experience in Hawaii where this, I gotta say this. So the night after the election was my last night in Hawaii. And so I had was my final show. It was my final paid show. And so I did a 15-minute set somewhere. And then they did an open mic after. So I signed up for the open mic, of course, because I was like, hey, this will be fun. This will be great, right? Like, let's everybody have a good time. And so the girl who went up before me was a Caucasian woman at that, and just ranted about how Kamala lost and all these different things, which if Variety D was talking, okay. If I was talking, okay. As a white woman, I don't want to hear your plights about racism, right? I didn't, right? And so then I had to follow that, right? And when I followed it, I went right into my name's Duante, and then I went to Edward, and I just went to my jokes, right? And we got off stage, and I got it back. By the time I was done, everybody was listening to comedy. It wasn't a rally anymore, right? But my point in saying that, right, is when I first got on stage, the girl who just came off all she did was sit front and center, turn around and talk to somebody else. And at no point in my first 2 minutes of my set did I go, "Hey, bitch, you want to turn around?" or "What's going on?" or any of that. I just let it slide. I was like, whatever. So I hear it. Like the idea that it's easy for anybody is hard, but I think as women, as minorities, and sometimes especially when we get in these weird quagmires of public issue, it can be hard out
We
there.
we met at Savage Henry. I wanted to go back to something you said earlier. Like, we met at Savage Henry, and I did the first show I did when I got there was at a pizza shop. And like the crowd was all over. There were like, and the comment I got was like, dude, you're after my set, because there were these two women off to the side who were talking to themselves and not paying attention. And I just took the mic and went over to them and started talking. I'm sorry, Duante, am I boring?
No, it's called up. You said pizza, so it's ordering a pizza for us. And I'm
He's
thinking, right, I need some
Oh, I
cheddar,
want
I need some
anchovies.
pepperoni.
No. So they're like, you're out of control, you're wild. And that's the reputation I get as a comic when I'm in it. Like when I'm just having fun, like I'm off the wall. Like I'll do anything.
Well, that's the thing is I've gotten better, I guess, right? Like at being better in those spaces and kind of talking about them. But we're the polar opposites. You know me. I come in and I'm going to command the respect. By the time I'm done, everybody's going to be done talking. They're going to be listening, even if they're not laughing. I'm so loud in my bass, like it's hello, ah! And I do a couple of those. Next thing, we're not allowed to talk, are we? And I'm like, hey, if you're talking during my jokes, you're racist. I'll do that once, and then. I'm the only minority act tonight. If you're not listening, you're definitely racist, right? So it's one of those where I've found to make it fun. I've found to make it it just do what you can with it. I don't know. It's dating with disabilities. We're talking about comedy for once. Hey, well, let me ask you this: do you bring dates to your comedy shows? How do you feel about that? Let me start with Silvi first, because all four of us are comedians, so we can all go there. Silvi, do you bring dates to your comedy shows?
Yes.
How does that go? I guess as a woman, I think this is going to be a better answer. As a woman, how does it feel bringing a man to a comedy show?
It's depend on the men actually. Some of them is it's kind of a test as well. So if they're okay, they will be okay. But if it's not, this life is not for them. It's not easy to, because sometimes I have to use the whatever that our conversation or our things on the stage. So yeah.
See, I guess you're different. I don't really do that, right? I mean, I haven't really been in a relationship. I mean, I dated the Denise chick, but I really didn't talk about her on stage. I don't. So I guess that's for women, like you talk about, oh, my ex has got a little dick, and you might not even be talking about that ex, but everybody assumes it's that guy, right? Or if you make a joke about your boyfriend, it's obviously the boyfriend who's there. So, and then I guess as women, right, you're judging. Does he get your jokes? Like if the guy you come off stage and the guy's like, you'd be funnier if you said this. Is that an automatic red flag? Do you still talk to that guy or?
Oh, sometimes I do. Sometimes I did, but I did talk about my ex-husband. I did talk about some a guy who is really bad, and talking about his small dicks. I even make a song. So yes.
Yeah.
So if you think it's okay to bully me, wait for it. Like.
How do you feel about it, Variety D? Are you bringing them to your comedy shows? Are you letting your dates?
Yeah. Definitely. Especially as a pioneer of British comedy, yes, I'm bringing in the show. Like even the guy I'm dating now, who's 55. Yeah, so I'm 33.
How old
He's
are
very
you?
intrigued. He's very intrigued. Like I'm going, yeah, I've got
53.
a sugar daddy, but I do like brown sugar. It's very good for you. And yeah, I always talk about that. Just bring him in because it's good for you to bring people into your your zone right there. So when 55 was at my show, he was impressed with the beer, and he says he's gonna come to all of my shows. Like, what do people call those guys called? Not serial killers, but they come and just follow you everywhere. He said he
Stalkers?
made that promise. And I was like, that's nice. And he told my mum as well. I was like, wow. He told my mama, damn. And he's like a few years older than my mama.
Oh,
Jesus.
shit.
Same thing I said, but I couldn't say it in front of my mum. But at the show, it was interesting for him because being a Black British comic, he's used to probably going to urban, like chocolate Sundays. But the shows that I not mostly do, but I've been doing, I'm getting paid more. Yeah, is middle class white and teaching them, still being me from South London, but letting them know what time it is.
It's funny you
But
say that because I had an encounter. I had a night.
mhm,
I had
yeah,
a
what's happening?
little love intermission once with this one lady, and she told
Yeah.
me, as a Black entertainer, especially as a Black woman, a lot of white people love to hire you out of white guilt, right? And so they love to have this Black
Correct.
entertainer cuss them out and talk bad to them and call them crackers, like on Boondocks. Like, anything I say, you guys will laugh. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. She's so well spoken. I'm such a cracker. You're so
Oh,
right. Like, is that what you're talking about? Are these the white
Yeah,
shows you're going
and
to?
they take a hell of a lot of drugs. I ain't gonna lie. They listen,
listen.
even the host. At least upstage the host. I was a headliner, obviously, but the host he had a green lolly, but it wasn't a green lollipop. It was something in the lollipop. I was like, and his girlfriend was like at the back there, and he said some very crude things that I can't even say on his podcast. I'm like, what the hell? Like, nah, nah. And the mic smelled as well. So what the hell this microphone?
How about you,
Can I
Mike? You're
can I
old.
say something?
Yeah, we were just about to get you. You
Go
just
for it.
gotta wait your turn, buddy.
No, 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 no. I'm not. I'm responding. I'm responding. Like, cracker is not a good insult. We need to come up with a better insult for white people.
Yeah, because crackers something I eat with cheese downstairs. Jacob's crackers. They're very delicious.
Right.
Mm,
Well,
yeah,
let me
Christmas
ask
crackers. I
you.
mean,
You've been doing comedy longer than all of us. Do you use your comedy as dating technique? Was that something you used?
No, no. I do not want someone I'm dating, newly dating, to see me perform.
Oh, really? Why is that?
You've seen my act. I come off as a dick. And so
Come off? Are you sure you're not a dick? I'm not sure if it's an act, Mike. I'm just like
maybe, maybe, maybe.
so, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I want you to hear me out. I'm from Seattle, right? And so you're very crass. I mean, you're a nice person, but you're still, depending on what your barometer is, right? I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like, on the East Coast, you're nice. On the West Coast, you're a New Yorker. We know it. You
Yeah.
know that's not a.
But me personally, I'm a very nice person. Like, you know,
You're
me
not a
on
mean person. Yeah.
me on stage, I'm on stage.
Do you feel like you're in attack mode more on stage because you're a disability, or
Not because of my disability, but because like that's how I'm a little bipolar. So like I bring that manic energy on stage whenever I go on stage. Like I rally it. I try to get it in me. Wait, that sounds dirty.
that
get
sounded
it in
horrible?
you. What?
Ah, I did not mean it like that. You are nasty.
What do you mean? We call that BP. So it might mean
Stop
black
it!
penis and you
Stop!
try to get it in
Stop!
you. What?
Stop! Variety
Wouldn't be
D.
first
Stop!
time. Wouldn't be first
I'm just
time.
saying. I'm English.
Jesus. Go ahead.
So yeah, I try like I don't think my wife refuses to come to any of my shows now because she did it She did it she went to all the shows when we were dating, and now she hates doing it. I have to beg her to come. What all of that? No,
Uh,
we do have to go,
no, we
Edgar.
don't. Go ahead. Jesus.
You know, I'm being tapped to work on cruises, and I have to be clean for like a good half hour.
There we go. Let's not act like everything we have to say has to go down the penis drain. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to Bridie
That's a
D.
urethra. The penis drain is a
Jesus.
urethra.
Jesus. Well, let me ask you this is you said you're going to school, doing this class section on disabilities. Do you feel like, how can I put this? Is everybody in the class non-disabled talking about disabilities on sex, whereas like being the only black
Yeah,
guy in
so
an African American studies class, you know what I mean? Where all the white people are, oh my God, this is so interesting. And you're like, I've known this shit, right?
yeah, so there were at the beginning of class, the instructor goes, put in the chat what you think of when you think of people with disabilities. And all it was like tragic, awful, not. And I'm like sitting there going, this is bullshit. And I wrote out, no one put anything positive. No one looked at the strengths that it takes to be a person with a disability. Like it's all ableist bullshit. But I said it much nicer because it's a PhD program.
I don't know if you should, but see, here's the difference, and I think this is the problem. And I've been fired for this probably at my last job, probably why I got fired because I didn't mind telling them, no, I'm tired of your white tears. I don't want to hear your white tears when we talk about drug use. I don't want to hear your white tears when we talk about homelessness. I don't want to hear about you wanting to tell me to worry about your culture. I see your culture every day. We're talking drug culture. No, you want me to feel bad for meth addicts. I don't feel, you know what I mean? Like, and then so in the same breath, at some point we did an American studies an American Indian studies, right? And I said,
Mhm.
first off, I don't think this should be called American Indian Studies. They're not Indians, they're Native Americans or tribal Americans. There's nothing Indian about them. That's a misnomenclature from
Colonist.
Christopher Columbus, right?
Mhm.
So then we talk, what do you think about Indian casinos? Was the first question, right? Just like you asked, what do you think of disabled people? And everybody's like, them people get free land and free casinos and free this, and that's not fair. And I said, as a person who's a little under 5 or 6% Native American or whatever it is, it's like, for the millions and millions of slaughtered, I'm pretty sure casinos a fair trade. Oh, damn, right? And so I wondered, like, if this is an online class, nobody knows Mike's crippled, right? Nobody knows Mike can't walk right, has a handicap placard. They just assume everybody in this class is able body. And so are you the only non-abled body, or is there at least somebody else?
I don't know, but I was the only one who said it in the chat. Like I was like, as a disabled person, I'm a little disturbed that all the responses were tragic, concerning. Like, where's the like? It takes gumption. It takes like determination. It takes like there's none of that.
But
Not only that, but why not just the words like sexy, attractive, love? Why does it have to be about your disability? Why did nobody just act like it was a regular person? Go ahead, Sylvie.
yeah, actually, what do you think is the benefit of being disabled?
You get all the best parking spaces.
And I guess, and not to say right or wrong, Sylvie, but I think that's kind of like, how do I put this? That's like saying, what's the benefits of being black? There's no benefits. I'm black, right? Like, you don't
You
choose to
get
be
the best
Are you
disabled.
fried
sure?
chicken.
We get a day off.
No, we don't get a day off. Everybody gets a day off. And that's the problem with our fucking holiday. If I was the only one to get Juneteenth off and you were black and you came in, you identify as black, I'm black, I got a black parent, you had to show a picture and then you got the day off, okay. But if all 4 of us get the day off, then we're not getting the day off.
So
We're all
I have a kid who is 11 years old, and she is as pale as I am, but she's a quarter black, and her hair is very coarse. And I try to teach her how to brush her hair. Like, we went all out. We brought the products, we brought the silk bedding, and like, she is so stubborn, she ain't using any of it. And it's a fight to get her to brush her hair every morning. And she had to shave most of her head because she didn't brush it, so it knotted in the back.
Oh, so it's nappy. She's nappy, not happy. So she just went, nying.
Exactly.
Oh God. Yeah.
I feel sorry. You know, what's funny is you laugh about that. I'm a dad of mixed girls, right, with hair, so their hair isn't as
With
bad.
hair.
I
With
could only
hair. Thank
imagine.
God they have hair.
They have hair. Yeah.
Right? But what I mean by that is they don't have like what Variety D got. Like they got hair like me.
Yeah.
I can run my that. I used to make them cry, and my ex-wife was like, You're not cussed, Broman," because I'm just brushing it, pulling it through, going through. I'm not tender-headed, and one of them was, and they're crying like, "You want to humble a man? Tell him to brush his daughter's hair, right?" Like that is. I don't want to. I'll do the dishes if I don't have to brush the hair no more. How many daughters do you have, Mask?
Just one. She's not biologically mine. She's my stepdaughter. And her dad lives in our basement. So it's a real unique family situation.
I'm going to leave that. This is dating with disabilities. So is this a polyamorous co-parenting thing?
No, it is not polyamorous. It is her. It is
cohabitation.
Yes. My wife didn't want her daughter's father to be homeless, so he ended up living with us.
I commend you. There was one time in my life when I was married and my baby's mom was going to be homeless, which I was okay with, but I told her son was going to live with us so that way he could go to school every day. Right? So
He said to me, "I can't have my daughter going to visit her father in his car." I'm like, they could go to McDonald's.
God damn. Remember when you were like, "I'm just a dick on stage"? That's what those comments where I could be like, "Nah, I just don't think it's not just on stage, Mike."
So, you know what? You know what is real is our relationship started as an affair. So like when he moved in, I said to him, "Look, we were friendly. We were always friendly. We've known each other for more than 10 years. We've known each other more than 12 years." So I said something like, "Look, I'm sorry for how Jeanette and I got together." He's like, "I played my part in the ending of that marriage. It wasn't all on you." And so it's, it just, life is life. Life be lifing sometimes. So
I'm listening to you, Skinny.
No, it's
Life
true.
be life. I mean, I look at it and sometimes I think that I'm glad you admitted you're like, I may have been a part of the end of their relationship, may not have. We all have our digressions, and once we've got to a certain age, it's just like, hey, can we all get along?
yeah.
I'm 43. I'm not the guy who was 30, and neither are you, but let's all parent this kid. Let's all get along. Let's all figure it out. Let's all try to make it work, right? Is that
And she has my personality for sure. Like I raised her through the pandemic. I like one day she goes to me, she's 10, right? She goes, "Being 10 is hard." And I tried not to laugh. And I go, yeah, I could see that. But I decided I'm okay with being any age because I decided I'm never gonna grow up. And this kid looks at me and goes, yeah, I could see that. I got told off
No,
by a kid.
it's a hard not life at 10. Look at Annie. I mean, gangster just had to gets no hugs. We get beat. It's just Oliver
So
Twist, another one. It's hard.
are you ever trying to have your own litter of kids, or are you just happy being a stepdad?
Mm.
She is my kid. I've raised her,
No, no, no.
but
I get you. I get you. But there's the whole.
we
It's
tried. It didn't work. We talked about adoption, and then her ex-husband moved in, and like it looks like more kids aren't in the cards. So, I mean, I would love to have 2 or 3 more running around. I come from a big extended family, so I always wanted more than one kid. I didn't think I was gonna have kids at 40, and then when we got together, I became a parent figure, and it took me a few years to figure out how to do it right. But I'm glad I got there.
it's funny. I try to remind people that they're not like pets, right? Like you've heard my joke about pets, right? And I forgot that there's more things I need to talk about, but like you just can't leave your kids at home for 2 weeks when you go on vacation, right?
You
You got to
you
get.
can Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay, but it's not the same thing, right? Like you get a pet, you'll get used to it, or you don't get used to it. You get a kid, like you got to figure it out, or you're gonna fuck them up forever, right? Like you wanna turn them into solid human beings, right?
You can't put them in the car, roll down the window, and leave them there for a half hour like you do with a dog.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, and I don't think there's any real. I love how you said I'm getting good at it. I'm getting better. I think there's no like solution to this, right? Like there's nobody
Like
gives you a
I
grade.
I had to my brother and sister told me I was being a control freak in the beginning. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that's when I started to change how I parented. And like we get along so much better because of it. Like I can have fun with her. Last night she said something do you would you die? Like she watches YouTube all the time and she goes, "Could you die by bread?" I go, "I don't know. Let's find out." I went to the kitchen, I grabbed a piece of bread and I threw it at her. Like, nope, still alive. And my wife is sitting there like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Treated a child like a bird. That's what you do to a pigeon. You chop bread at them, see if they're gonna survive. Yeah.
Well,
I'm not ready
I
to be
think.
a mummy yet. Mm-mm.
Well, yeah. I was just gonna say, Variety D had to answer. What did you say for the chat? What are you doing? What's your
Yeah,
plan?
I said I'm 33 right now and I'm freezing my eggs. They're like premium eggs, these are down here. So I'm gonna be waiting until I become a good mum because this mummy life I'm seeing out on the roads. I'm not sure about your streets and you three's streets, but the streets down here are hard. These mums, their breasts are up here and then they're down there like on Mondays. I don't like this. Like when there's mm-mm.
Listen, I always wanted to be a parent, and there are days where I'm like, it would be so much easier to not have a kid. Not saying that I don't I love her and I would die for her, but you give up a piece of yourself being a parent.
See, I don't give up no peace. Not yet. Mm-mm. I don't keep my
Well,
pieces in place,
and I
except for
think
my
that's
brain.
when people talk about pets, it's the same idea. Like you're not giving up a piece of yourself to have a pet, right? You
Mm-hmm.
don't make any real like you may make sacrifices if your pet gets hit and needs an emergency surgery or goes diabetic or has shitting problems. Like, your pet can have vet bills, right? But you're not eating on a weekly basis to have a pet. And if you are, you're a shitty pet owner. That's all that is. You should not have a pet if you're, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's one of the hardest things. Would you,
Oh, wow.
and let me ask you, I think you brought something up earlier. You had talked about how when you have a disability, people treat you different. Do you feel like that's a good different or a bad different when it comes to dating?
It's annoying. Like it's when it comes to dating, it's annoying. Like I remember someone saying, I don't know if I could date someone with a disability. I'm like, huh, fuck you. And like that was my response. So,
So I made a new joke, right? And I was like, I'm starting to date girls with disabilities. Started dating this deaf chick. Everything was going good till we got to the dirty talk. And I was like, "Who's your daddy?" And she was like, "Not you." And everybody's, you know, that's a good joke. Like, I'm partial deaf. I can say that, no, right? But then I talked about like, having a blind girl and her grabbing my dick and being like, "Is that Braille?" And I'm like, "No, just herpes." You know what I mean? But one of these things is the self-deprecation part makes it funnier, right? But
I agree.
nobody wants to talk about these things. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's so taboo that people really don't know how to do it without being mean.
When I was with my ex-boyfriend, he said, like we were in bed and I was joking around and he goes, "Are you always on?" And I grabbed his dick with my bad hand and go, "Is this thing on?"
Oh God. I knew you were gonna say something perverted. And I agree with that. I mean, here's the thing is I look at it like this. I've been known to be, I guess it's the best sex for me is when you can have fun, when you fall off the bed and people are laughing, right? You get a cramp. I remember one girl, I told her, "Punch me in the legs." She's like, "What?" I said, "Punch me in the legs." I don't want to. I got a cramp. Punch me in the leg. She's punched me. She says, "Is that hard? No harder." And she says, "Oh God, this is kind of fun. Do you want me to punch you during sex too?" No, no. That is timeout. Timeout. That's not sexy. I just had a cramp. So I found myself putting out boundaries, but I think when the sex is fun, right? When sex isn't
Yeah.
just
Oh
sex.
yeah. Like I had an ex, me and her, all we did was laugh during sex. Like it was so much fun.
That's it. Just laugh. I had a. So here's
Why did you laugh?
that was
What made you
such
tickle?
a horrible. He build up. I gave him the spotlight. Yeah, we used to
Yeah.
laugh during sex. Yeah, it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. Like we,
Yeah, what did you do? Who dig what to make you
well,
laugh?
No,
this
stop.
one
No
time,
variety, D. We're not doing that. Nope.
this, this
Why?
one,
I've
this
got
one
to
time,
learn. I've got to learn what I've got to
this
learn
one
this
time
stuff.
we had sex on her period and I lost my
Oh man.
balance and I grabbed the wall. It looked like a fucking crime scene.
Jesus.
It looked like an SVU episode.
That's like that. So when I got a little lucky in Hawaii, and after about like 20 or 30 minutes, I was like, "You giggle when you come." And she said, "Oh my God, who told you my secret?" I said, "Nobody. I was counting strokes. Every 16th stroke, you let out a little giggle. You're coming, aren't you?" She said, "Oh, how dare you?" Oh, got it. Figured it out, right? So I believe there is
So you were like 14, 15, 16.
ding 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 ding
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding, ding.
12, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Oh no,
12,
that's the way you
13,
move. Oh god.
14,
Oh, okay.
15,
All right,
16.
Uncle
Ding ding
Dante.
ding
Okay.
ding ding
All right.
ding ding. You got to ring. You
He's
know, we
giving
got to
us Soul Train.
ring. You got to ring the
Okay.
bell in when you get it. You got to get that whole
Oh my, he's getting funky.
that
Oh,
whole
he's getting
stroke
down.
at Jesus. You got to hit the bottom of the well if you know what I mean. Oh, sorry. Jesus. So it's I got some good news and I got some bad news. What do you want first, big guy?
Good news?
This has been a wonderful show.
Bad
That
news?
means I hate to tell you this. That means we're at the end of our hour. We're at 55 minutes. We made it,
No
everybody.
way.
Oi.
And this is a
Hey.
great day. Usually on Sundays we'd run over or we'd not care, but we've got a double feature for you today. So we've got Paul Kilmer, a magician and autistic artist, waiting for us to start that in 5 minutes. So we're wrapping up on time today.
Have
We
fun.
started on time. We're finishing on time. Mike, tell everybody where to find you. What's your socials? What do you got going on?
At Mike Cotayo on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. MikeCotayo. My website is funnymanmike.com, and I will see y'all soon. Thank you so
Give it
much,
up for
you
our
guys.
guest, Mike
Yay!
Cotayo.
Woo!
White guy trying to
Yeah.
brush
Yay!
black hair, right? Give it up for our co-host Silvi Santoso.
Woo!
Finally home and in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And last but not least, give it up for our co-host Variety D.
Hey.
Bringing the sugar zaddies to her show so she can make a little income. We know how
What?
it is.
What's the
Find
D
her
stand
on
for?
a variety of
Find
dicks.
out. Google
Oh,
me.
I'm sorry.
Variety
Never
D
mind.
comedian.
Never mind. She'll take a variety of dicks all at once. It's a line. It's a line.
That's
Oh,
That,
what I
I'm not. I'm
wanted.
tight. Sis, I'm not loose.
I'm gonna get out of here. I've been your host for the most.
You're
We're gonna end
33.
on a
It's
burn.
elastic.
I'm Duante, Suitman, Barnett. Thank you for coming in, everybody. See you
Bye,
next time.
y'all.
Hey, we're out of here.
Thank you, guys.